Hey there, Glenn HAUSSMAN here on a bicycle for HERETostay.tv. We're in Amsterdam at the Service Department Summit Recharge, and we had the opportunity to see all sorts of different alternative accommodations, including Zoku, one geared towards the global nomad. It's all about putting work and rest and sociability in one location. The Student Hotel, a concept geared towards short and long-term students where others can come in and join the fun as well and be productive. Then, of course, there's JANICE, which is geared towards creating a home base to be the entree to an incredible community. And finally, Suites Hotels, one of the most unique things that I've seen, little tiny places all throughout the city under one hotel concept.
Because instead of being stuck in a conference room, we are out and about exploring and really seeing all the different types of service department businesses that can be done. What did you think about yesterday?
It wasn't a conference yesterday. It was all about getting into the Amsterdam neighbourhood. We went to the Student Hotel, innovative place, about 600 rooms, originally targeting students, still target students, but their guest profile is broadened. Then we went to something called the Suite Hotel, which is a bit different, based around Amsterdam canals and single rooms that have been converted into apartments. Totally unique. They were disused, would have perhaps been knocked down, and it's great that the municipality has re-energised, that aspect of accommodation.
Completely innovative and different, and I expect when they're fully built out for you to see them on the front of travel magazines everywhere.
Sure,
yeah.
And also the occupancy and the revenue that they're getting is very, very strong.
Where else?
We went to JANICE, boutique apartments, and also Zoku, a live-work unit where we're hosting the conference today.
The conference on the second day was interesting to me because it wasn't that traditional sit in a conference room and listen to three people speak. It was a little bit more interactive. What made you come up with that idea, and how do you think it worked for the audience?
Well, look, things are changing in hospitality, a lot more choice out there. It's the same with doing business. There's lots of hospitality conferences now, maybe use the same format, tried and tested, and there's nothing wrong with that. But we thought we might do something new and innovative, which re-energises people early in the year, that they can perhaps put in their diary, with no suits. It was, smart casual dress, which, gets people really engaged and happy to have conversations.
Yep.
We then had, master classes, series of workshops. The great hospitality minds that are in the room really came out. We only had 140 people. We were sold out, and it shows based on the level of engagement and the business that's actually been done.
It's been great having so many people come to Amsterdam, which is obviously my city, and it's a city where a lot is going on when you look at hospitality, when you look at the service department sector. So it's great to have everybody over here, and I'm loving it, really loving it. We had a big tour yesterday where we saw loads of different properties, different buildings, former offices that were transformed into apartments, and everybody's really excited about the stuff that we're seeing.
It felt very collaborative, and people were sharing and talking, and it was very accessible.
The fact that it's short, it's punchy, nothing's longer than 10 or 20 minutes. It keeps people's attention, the topics are changing, and people who are putting their hands up to speak are coming from all parts of the industry too. It's not just investors, it's not just operators, or people with all different interests in this sector. And that makes for a very broad, constructive debate, I think.
The summit is fantastic because I get to see a lot of different points of view from other team players in my industry, and how they do things in different parts of the world.
Yes, I think the real collaborative sort of aspect of the workshop sessions today made this event quite different.
I think the informality of it in some ways for me is a big attraction. I think a lot of honest and open conversations happening now that maybe in a more formal, structured environment may not happen. So I think for me that collaborative working environment, and maybe it's the space we're into here at Zoku too, it helps a lot. People are talking with each other open and honestly, and I think that's really refreshing, the fact that those conversations are happening.
The way of doing this event is really groundbreaking, because everybody knows the events where you just sit down on a chair and just listen to somebody speak for an hour or so and then check your emails and go for another run. This is completely different. You've got breakout sessions with smaller groups, everybody's participating. I would say this is definitely the way forward.
I really think people are going to go home with more ideas from this than they would from a regular conference. Just because nearly everybody is engaged, you know, they're thinking about the topics perhaps a bit deeper rather than sitting at the back of the room only half involved with what's going on.
What I see is now that there's professional players in the market. There's 10 or so players that really want to grow across Europe. So the nice thing will be what is happening in 5 years from now. And I think that from 5 years from now there are like 5 really big players that are massive service department player in the whole European market.
I think this sector is broadening. It's broadening from, I mean, this summit is called the Service Department Summit, but everyone recognises that really what we're talking about is alternatives to hotels. I mean, that's if we're going to get down to the core of it. But it's really a very broad base of the service departments that we know, love from 5 and 10 years ago, the home sharing economy, which has been brought to life by Airbnb and others, and a full range in between. So I think that's great for customer choice. I think the fact that we're bringing some structure to that and some accreditation schemes to that across the industry just gives that credibility and a greater chance of success.